and welcome back to my channel. For me it works. My name is Lois. One of the most requested videos I receive either on YouTube or through my Instagram page is an updated nail care regimen. Now I did a very detailed video maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and for the most part things really haven't changed, but I was looking at my nails earlier and I know I need to do them later tonight. So I figured this would be a great time just to show you the steps I go through. Now I won't be doing an on-screen manicure excuse me, because I normally do those just before bed, but I will take you through the steps and the products and the tools that I use to achieve my manicure. My nails now are not in the best shape. If you look back at some of my older videos, you'll see that they were actually much longer than they are now and I'm in the process of letting my nails grow back. So hopefully with time and care, they'll be back to what I'm used to. So if you're interested in my nail care regimen, please continue to watch. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, as I mentioned, I will be doing my nails tonight, so the first step obviously will be to remove my old polish. And when I'm removing polish, there's one of 3 types of remover that I'll use. Most of the time I'm using just a plain acetone polish remover. I'm not a stickler for a brand. Whoever has it on sale when I need it is where I will most likely purchase it. This happens to be the brand that Sally Beauties carries, and this is their acetone, and it contains wheat protein and vitamin E, so it's not as drying as the next remover I'm about to show you, and that is a 100% pure acetone. This is the Onyx Professional brand, and I picked this up, I believe I was in Walmart when I picked this up. I use this if I am removing a stubborn glitter and I don't have any patches on, and I also use this to clean up my edges after a manicure. And then the last type of remover I will use if I have any patches on any broke or cracked nails that I have patches, I will use a non-acetone remover. This is not as damaging and it doesn't weaken the patches on my nails. So again, most of the time I'm using an acetone. It's not 100% acetone, but it's an acetone. For cleanup and stubborn glitter, I'm using 100% pure acetone. And if I do have any patches, or if I were an acrylic wearer, I would be using a non-acetone remover. Now once I've removed my polishes, I would go to file and shape. And again, my process really hasn't changed much over the past 3 years. If I need to clip, which I don't do that often, if I'm trying to remove some major length, or if I have a break and I just want to remove the entire nail, I'll just use a straight edge clipper. I mean, these are actually toenail clippers, but I use them for my nails. For shaping, again, still really hasn't changed. To remove a substantial amount of nail or length and to clean up my edges, as I showed in the previous video, I use this is a 100 grit nail polish, 100 grit file or emery board, and this is what I use to, again, clean up my edges, my sides, and if I wanted to remove any substantial amount of length. This, I don't like to use it too often because this will actually tear or create rips or minute rips in your nail, so I don't like to use this too often, but it is something I reached for every now and then. Now if I'm just trying to clean up or smooth out my nails, my preference is a glass file. This is an SD glass file. I had this one in my original video 3 years ago, and it's still good. I just sanitize it with alcohol, and it's good to go. This I like because where the harder emery board, as I mentioned, can create ridges or rips in your nail, this seals the edges of your nail. So again, this is the file I choose to use most of the time. It just smooths out the edges of your nail, so you're not worried about snagging on your clothes, your hair, what have you. Again, This is just a glass file. You can pick these up at Sally, any beauty supply store, Walmart. I've seen them. I saw some with Swarovski crystals in them in a jewelry store. So glass nail files are pretty readily available, and they last forever. Now once I have clipped and filed my nails, this is something I don't do too often, but again, if I need to, this is something I have in my arsenal, and I warned you in the previous video, and those are buffers. If I'm just trying to remove stains from my nail, I'll use a Polar Block buffer that I pick up from Sally Beauty. If I have ridges in my nails, I can use a more coarse buffer. It's like sandpaper. They come in different, this is like very coarse, kind of medium, and this is smoother. Again, same warning as before, be very careful. I will never forget when I over buffed my nails, and I actually buffed a hole into my nail down where it was just paper thin away from the underneath of my nail, and that was like the most painful thing I have ever experienced. So I try not to buff if I can at all help it, but again, if I need to, it's in my arsenal. Now once I have removed my polish and buffed my nails and clipped them down to the length I want, and they're shaped and everything's good, that's when I go to remove my cuticles or take care of my cuticles. Pretty much hasn't changed since the previous video. Although one of the tools has changed, they're still the same concept. I have a metal cuticle remover, and this is by Nika K that I picked up from my beauty supply store. I actually like this one. In the previous video you also saw a metal cuticle remover, but this one I like better because the actual end is curved, so it actually fits the curve of my nail, where the other one was just flat. So this one, although you still need to be very careful, I just like this one better. If you have a low tolerance for pain, I would suggest an orange wood stick. These you can pick up anywhere, Walmart, your beauty supply stores, Sally Beauty. And I still have my trusty plastic one that I showed you 3 years ago. I don't use this one too often. Most of the time I'm using the metal one, but again, if you're new to giving yourself a manicure or you have a low threshold of pain, I would use one of the two other options, probably the orange wood stick. Now to remove my cuticles, that's the tool I use, but I also need a cuticle remover. There are two that I turn to, and these I believe are still the same two that I mentioned previous. One is the Sally Hansen Instant Cuticle Remover that I've used for ages. And then I also have, this is actually the same bottle because this is 16 ounces and it lasts forever. This is the Blue Cross Cuticle Remover. Now, this is very messy, and at first, when I first bought it, I really didn't like it because I didn't like the smell and I didn't like how messy it was. But what I do is I have it in a squirt bottle. It's still kind of messy, but this is how I use it. I recently saw someone on YouTube put it in an old nail polish bottle. I might try that to see if I like that better. But because you can see it's liquid, it's watery. It's going to be messy regardless to how you apply it, but it's effective. Now, I know I mentioned this in a previous Instagram posting, I believe. It's got lanolin in it, so if you've got an allergic reaction, if you're allergic to lanolin, I would stay away from this one. But again, for me, this is the one most of the time I use. Now I've removed my cuticles, I've cleaned up my cuticles. At that point, my hands are dusty from the filing and the buffing or buffing, and then I want to also remove the cuticle remover. So I wash my hands. I just get a nail brush and wash my hands with warm soapy water. And then I cannot stand dry hands, dry lips, dry skin. So the first thing I do after I wash my hands is reach for my moisturizer. Now, again, this is one I've shared with you time and time again. This is still a favorite, and this is the Gold Bond Ultimate Softening with Shea Butter. I keep a bottle of this. I have a bottle of it at work on my desk. I have a bottle of it at home on my desk. I have a tube of it in my purse. So this is just something I have used consistently for years. This is probably like one of the first products I reviewed on my blog 5-6 years ago. So this will forever be in my arsenal. Some of the others that I use are one that when I first started blogging, I used to hear people talking about it all the time, and I had never tried it. And actually the company sent me several of their products to try, and this was one that I requested. And this is the Lush Lemony Flutter Cuticle Butter. Now this is more of a at night treatment because yes, it smells like lemon. It's just something I prefer to use at night as opposed to during the day, so it doesn't leave my hands. It's not necessarily greasy, but it's just something I prefer at night as opposed to during the day. And this is actually a very good product. Another one that I purchased based on everybody else talking about it on Instagram and YouTube, and I'd seen it in the stores, I'd seen it in Walgreens, I'd seen it in Walmart, but I just never thought about it as far as using it for my cuticles. But I found this little tiny tube, and I thought it was so cute, so I figured I'd give it a try. And this is, will it focus? Come on, focus. Aquaphor healing ointment. And I mean, just because of the name, I never thought about it for cuticles. And then again, I don't like greasy, so I don't like the Vaseline consistencies, and that's what it is. If you can see, it's got like a Vaseline consistency. So again, this is another product that I use strictly at night, but it is really good. But again, because of the consistency, this is just another one of those at night products. Two other products that I have in my arsenal. One I keep on my nightstand, and one I keep on my desk at work and in my handbag. This one is the Healthy Hoof Intensive Protein Treatment, and this was sent to me by a nail sister, Nate Butterfly, on Instagram. And this is the Healthy Hoof, and this is a cream protein treatment. So again, I use this at night and sometimes in the morning. This is again a strengthening strengthening product that I like to use on my nails and cuticles. And then lastly, this is the one I keep on my desk at work and in my purse at home. In my purse wherever I go. And this is Badger Cuticle Care. This is similar to the Burt's Bees Lemon Butter, and I've used that one, and for whatever reason I just never repurchased it. Not saying that it wasn't good, and I probably will be purchasing it next time I've been in a store and actually see it and think about it. But this is the consistency of the Badger Cuticle Cream, and again, I just put this on my nails throughout the day after I wash my hands, because I don't know about you, but where I work, the soap in the bathroom is atrocious. It's almost like I need to use straight lard to get my hands back moisturized, because after I wash my hands, after using, going to the facilities, I wash my hands and my hands are just like desert dry. And so that's why I keep a tin of this on my desk at work, and as well as a bottle of this Gold Bond, because I cannot stand for my hands to be dry. So I'm constantly moisturizing my hands and cuticles. There are times if I'm caught by the train at work, or on my way to work, or where I'm at, I'll pull out the cuticle cream and I'll sit there while I'm waiting for the train to go about its business. I'll moisturize my cuticles then. So these are several of the products that I use to keep my cuticles moisturized. As far as hand creams, one I recently picked up, again, I know there's several videos, YouTube made me do it. Instagram has caused me to make a few purchases as well. One of the hand creams that I keep in my purse, and you'll be able to see by the tube that it's been well worn, is the Trader Joe's Ultra Moisturizing Hand Cream. This is the tube I keep in my purse. I also have a tube in my car, and this is just a really good hand cream to keep my hands moisturized. And then another lotion or body lotion that I use for my hands is by the C&D brand, and this is one from their Christmas collection. I think it was last Christmas, and it was actually a trio of scents, and this is their C&D hand and body lotion. I keep a bottle of this also at my desk and at work, and then a bottle in my purse. That's right, I keep several bottles of lotion and creams and cuticle stuff in my purse because, again, I cannot stand for my hands to be dry. So we've covered polish remover, filing, clipping, cuticle care, hand creams, cuticle oils, and balms. So now, once I've done all of that, my hands are usually well moisturized, but my nails also have a film of oil. So before I polish my nails, before I apply any nail treatment, I remove any traces of oil from my nail itself, strictly with, just straight alcohol. Some people use nail polish remover. I use just plain alcohol that I have in a spray bottle. I spray it on a cotton round and just wipe my nails down so I hear that squeaky clean. And that's when I know I'm ready to start applying nail polish and nail treatments. Now, as far as nail treatments go, again, one product that I shared with you the 3 years ago, and I still use it, and I've been using it, will continue to use it, and it will always be in my arsenal, is the Nail Life Nail Revitalizer. I get this from Sally Beauty. Will it focus? Come on, focus. There we go. I get this from Sally Beauty. I have been using this easily for 15 years. So I'm easily bored, so I'll switch up, but I always go back to the Nail Revitalizer. Another product that I have purchased several times, this is the Nail Teak Intensive Therapy 2. Now this is like the generic version of Nail Teaks. There's one that's like I think it's like $20 for a bottle. This is like the generic version, and I purchased this one from, I think I got this from Target. It was actually on clearance at Target, but I've seen it in Ulta. So again, this is another treatment that I use. This one is for soft peeling nails, and I use this if I don't use the Nail Life, I'll use the Nail Tech, or this other product that I'll use from time to time. And again, this is one of those Instagram made me do it. And this is the Dury Rejuvicoat that I used to always hear about, and I had never used it, but I always heard about it, so I thought I'd give it a try. Every now and then I'll use this, but my preference is still the other two. But these are the three that I that are in rotation for my nail care regimen. Now, once I put on a treatment, I need to put on a base coat. Now, my base coats depend on what I'm planning on, what kind of manicure I'm planning on doing. If it's a holographic, I'll use a ridge filler because holographic nail polishes tend to be streaky, so I need to lay a specific or ridge filling base coat just to help the application. So this is one from the line that Finger Paints, exclusive to Sally Beauty, released about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, and this is their smooth over ridge filler. And then another one I use from the same line is the gel-like base coat. But if I'm just doing a regular nail polish, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot, there was one other treatment polish that I recently picked up and I posted. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen this one. I posted it when I purchased it because I'd never seen the product. This is from the Pro FX line, and they came out with, I believe it was 7 different products, and this is their Super Greens Nail Strengthening Complex, and I got this from Walmart. And so I've been using this one from time to time. I don't use it that often. I need to use it consistently just to see if I'm seeing a difference. So I'll probably put this one back into rotation so I can see if it actually makes a difference. Okay, the base coat that I use most often, again, if you've been following me on Instagram or if you've been following my blog or my YouTube, you know this one is also, along with the Nail Life, this next product has been with me for 15 plus years, and this is the American Classic Jealous, and this is a thick, it's called Jealous Advanced Nail Gel Coat, and I use this. I use it as a base coat. A lot of people use it for hungry or thirsty glitters, and what I mean by that is glitters tend to be rough, and so you want a top coat that will smooth it out, and a regular top coat will just absorb into or be eaten by the glitter. This one tends to work in smoothing out chunky glitters, but I personally use it as a base coat, and this is also available at Sally Beauty. Especially when my nails get the length that I like, I use this because it makes my nails hard, thick. So when they're shorter, not so much, but when they're longer and I want to make sure that I don't break them, I'm definitely reaching for my gel. I always have at least 2 backups of this in my arsenal. Again, it's available at Sally Beauty. Now, again, I put on my treatment, I put on a base coat. Next would obviously be next would be, and again, I know for a lot of people this may seem like a lot to do for a manicure, but my manicures, although I don't wear them this long, I can get 2 to 3 weeks of wear out of my manicure. Yes, I'll have tip wear, but as far as chipping, I don't get any chipping. That's if I do this process as I normally do. The third base coat, if you will, is an adhesive base coat. I switch back and forth between the China Glaze Strong Adhesion, and then another from Finger Paints is the Grab It base coat, and this is also an adhesive base coat. This is from a line they released, I think it was 5 different treatment, base coat, top coat, adhesive coats, about maybe a year ago. And so these are the adhesive base coats that I use. Now, okay, I've shaped, I've buffed, I've done my cuticles, I've applied my treatment, I've applied my base coats. It's time to apply the polish. When I apply my polish, I shared with you one of my little secrets before. When I apply my polish, because I am now 51 years old, my eyes are not as they used to be, I wear readers. These are just magnifying readers. I put them on so that I can get up close to my cuticle without flooding my cuticle. So I polish my nails. I tend to clean up any mistakes or, flooding while my polish is still wet. What I use for cleanup is, and I hate they have discontinued this brush. So when I found out they were discontinuing it, every time I saw them in the stores, I was buying a bunch of them. So I have maybe 20 or 30 of these in my stash. But this is the old e.l.f. concealer brush. It was only $1. It was available at Walmart, at Target. Wherever I saw them, I would grab them. I had no shame in pulling all of them off the shelf. So this is the cleanup brush that I use. This and pure acetone is what I use to clean up around my edges, around, if I mess up, if I get any polish on the edge or flood my cuticles, this is the brush that I use. Okay, as I mentioned, I've used the base coats and the treatments and the polish, and now, as I said, I normally do my polish. I normally change my polishes or do my nails shortly before I go to bed, so I need a fast dry top coat. The fast dry top coat that I use, I know many people love and swear by Seche Vite, but the product that I use is actually INM Out the Door. And first time I bought it, I bought the small bottle, fell in love with it, so then I went and purchased the big bottle, and I just top off the smaller bottle with the big bottle, and it may not dry quite as fast as Seche Vite, but with Seche Vite you got the shrinkage and it didn't agree with every brand of polish. I don't have that problem with the Out the Door. It doesn't shrink, it doesn't cause shrinkage, it agrees with everything that I've used it with thus far. So again, Out the Door is the brand that I use as a fast dry top coat. Okay, so now my nails are done. I'm just waiting for them to dry. So just on a day-to-day basis, as I mentioned, I use the cuticle balms and the cuticle oils, but I don't think I actually shared with you the cuticle oils that I use. There are several in my stash. My camera turned off, so I don't know exactly where it stopped. Let's hope. I'll check it. I shared with you the balms and the lotions I use, but I forgot to mention the cuticle oils. There are several in my arsenal. There is the CND solar oil that is quite popular, and I like this one. There's also a more affordable one, and that's the Sally Hansen Vitamin E Nail and Cuticle Oil, and this one is readily available, Walmart, Target, I mean pretty much anywhere Sally Hansen is sold, you can purchase this one. But the cuticle oil that I use most often is my own. It's one I developed years ago, and I continue to use it, and it's just in the old Seche Vite bottle, but this is my cuticle oil. And if you're interested, I've created a video again sometime back, and I'll post it in the down box so you can see what's in it, because this is the cuticle oil that I use most often. Also, a step I forgot to mention, when I'm washing my hands to remove the oils and the dust from the filing and the cuticle remover, I like to exfoliate. And again, if you follow me on Instagram or even my blog, you'll know I love a good facial exfoliant, a good body exfoliant, and of course a good hand exfoliant. And there are two that I tend to rotate, and one is the H2O hand and nail scrub. I purchased this from Marshall's, and this was $5.99. They changed their packaging, so that's why I saw these in Marshall's, because I see this line now in Walgreens and Ulta, and the packaging has changed. So whenever I see this in Marshall's, I purchased two the last time I saw them. So this is one I use, that, and one that's actually, it's very easy to find because everybody carries this line, and that is the Shea Moisture Body Scrubs. This is the Shea Moisture Argan Oil and Raw Shea Hand and Body Scrub. Again, now this is something that I love to use for my hands. It's a hand and body, but most often I use it for my hands during my manicure. Okay, so let's see. We've talked about removers, we've talked about treatments, we've talked about balms and hand lotions and hand creams and tools. The last thing I think I wanted to talk about are supplements. Now, when I first started, if you follow me from the beginning, when I was developing my cuticle oil, it was 5 or 6 years ago when I started on my healthy hair journey, and I would do scalp massages with different oils like olive oil and coconut oil, and that's how my cuticle oil came to be. I was seeing an improvement in my nails, and also during that time I was taking biotin for my hair. But biotin is also good for your skin and your nails. Now, when I started my healthy hair journey, I was taking biotin at 5,000 mcgs. I know some people are concerned because they say that biotin causes breakouts. I have not had that problem with biotin, so I actually upped it for a while to 10,000 mcgs of biotin, and I purchased this from Walmart. But I have since changed it because I was taking biotin along with a multivitamin. During my healthy hair journey, I decided to start taking a supplement that was strictly for hair, skin, and nails. And then I was taking that in addition to a multi, but then the hair, skin, and nail vitamin I was taking was actually formulated by a doctor and a registered nurse, and they enhanced it to include everything that was in my multi as well as everything that was in a good hair, skin, and nail vitamin. So I stopped taking the multi and just started taking this one healthy hair vitamin. And the brand I'm talking about is the Main Choice, and this is the Metabolism Plus, and this again is a healthy hair growth vitamin, but it's also good for skin and nails. And this is a complete nutrition dietary supplement, and again, this was formulated by a medical doctor and a registered nurse. So I have been taking, originally I took, before they enhanced the formula, I took it for 10 months straight and loved it. But because I was given the opportunity to try different other brands, I switched out to several other brands. But then come January, I decided that for the year 2016, I was going to take this and nothing else. So I purchased a year's supply, and so this is what I've been taking for the year this is what I will be taking for the year 2016. We are in July, so I've been taking it for 6.5 months straight, and we'll continue through 2016 before I decide if I want to keep using this or give something else a try. But again, I've been taking metabolism excuse me, for several months and like it very much. I mean, it has all the regular, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, D, E, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, B6, folic acid, B12. It has biotin in it at 5,000 mcgs, magnesium, psyllium, copper. The only thing it does not have that I wish it did is silica. I don't see that in here, and that's one supplement or one additive that I have been researching and would like to see that added to this. If not, I'll just have to take it, additionally. But this is the supplement I take for hair, skin, and nails. So those are all the tools and the products that I use, and I'm actually thinking that I'm going to create some additional videos, just cuticle stuff, just treatment products, just hand creams, just to break it down and give you more in-depth product reviews. Again, as I mentioned in my previous video 3 years ago, yes, this is what I do to keep my nails or get my nails in, back in shape. But it's also genetics. As I mentioned before, my mother's nails grow, my father's nails grew. So there's still genetics play a part in it. So I'm not saying that if your parents didn't have good, long nails that you want. It just gives you something else. You have to work a little harder. One other thing, and I'm proud to say that I've improved since previous video. Water intake. You've got to drink water. It's not just for your skin, your hair, and your nails. It's just good. Your body is majority water. So if your body is dehydrated, the first thing that's going to show the signs is your hair, your skin, and your nails. So you've got to keep yourself hydrated. Now, coming from me, who used to never drink water, that's saying a lot. I mean, I could go days without drinking water. So, again, water. I keep bottles at my desk. I keep a bottle in my purse. I keep a bottle in my nightstand. But just keeping it there is not key. What's key is drinking it. Drink your water. Again, coming from me, and if you know me personally, you know Lois was not a water drinker. So, drink your water. That is all I have for now. I know a lot of people have asked for an updated regimen. It really hasn't changed that much. I'm hoping to start putting out more videos related to nails. Since going natural as far as my hair, my nails kind of fell to the wayside, or at least posting about my nails fell to the wayside. So I'm trying to get back in the groove with the nail products and the nail reviews. If there's something you'd like to see in particular, please comment down below and I'll try to get that taken care of. Grace, peace, joy, and blessings. Bye.